Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Makona Man at YouTube with another model video. This will be a tutorial on airbrushing Rit Dyemore synthetic fabric dye. This is the most common brand I can find and recommended to be mixed in large bulk for soaking from boiled vinegar or water, which I find wasteful and not ideal for small pieces like doll clothing. Airbrushing will hopefully bring more control, tones and intricate detail lines and even shade gradients. This guide is loosely based off manufacturer instructions modified. Shake thoroughly and decant 1 or 2 ml in a shot glass. The viscosity as is extremely thick and can be cut with white vinegar, which is easier to atomize than water. Thin at a ratio of 1 part dye to 5 or 10 parts vinegar. The viscosity sticks to the side of the walls but is transparent, which is ideal. Any affordable airbrush rig or professional, including cake decorating and hobby 12 volt compressors, will be fine. You can decant the mixture straight into your airbrush. The test on some tissue toweling shows that I can get a range of lines and gradients, meaning that this mix atomizes quite well. The towel is dry, though it's recommended to dye on a wet surface, but we can do this in multiple layers. At a medium to higher PSI, your white garments can just be sprayed. Make sure to lay flat to prevent any creases in capturing a mask fold and not colouring. By the second pass, the garment is already wet and will take to the ink and adhere quite nicely. The first layer or two may appear patchy, especially for more complex shapes like this doll jacket. Different colours will take differently to the thinned ratio and will apply and appear differently. Experimentation should occur. Unlike using acrylic paint, which is highly recommended on YouTube, dye will give it a natural feel and flexibility. Unlike paint, there is more steps and it's not evaporative setting or dry curing. We applied this mix at room temperature or colder and it's set by heat, which would normally boil the mixture and soak. Don't let the garment sit in a pool of dye as it will become blotchy. Dab any excess off. Cleanup is very easy due to the lack of resin and can be flushed out and wiped with the same vinegar that you used to thin. Flush as much out and keep filling with vinegar until the solution is clear. Button zippers and plastic components can be masked, though it's easy enough to clean up with the Q-tip and vinegar. To heat set or cure once dry or moist, it's easy enough by just applying heat, however method you have access to. Placing in front of a heater, I'm using a craft air fryer and even a heat gun is suitable. Due to natural material, fumes are not an issue. Be wary of staining. Supervise curing to prevent fire hazards. A dark blue garment I painted was achieved in a single session, though this red seems to be a bit patchy and a bit light. I did a second coating to make it more uniformed. After drying it with heat to the touch, I did a test by dabbing the material with some absorbent tissue to see if it would stain before adding it to my resin doll. It's recommended for absolute foolproof to make sure staining does not occur is to wash in warm water or a detergent cycle in your washing machine the garments before use. I just allowed it to sit in natural sunlight for 24 hours and found it good enough to use. I was inspired to attempt this process due to not being able to find doll clothing in the colour that I required for this 1/4 anime project. Google did not produce any results on how to airbrush fabric dye, so I believe this is a first. Please let me know how it goes with your tests and experimentations, though I'm pretty confident that this will work with all white fabrics. This concludes my tutorial on airbrushing fabric dye. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, stay tuned for further content and we'll catch you guys next time.